Hey everybody, welcome to this next edition of Walk and Talk with Native Bush and Leonie Featherstone. Get your walking shoes on and we'll all get ready to go. So I just want to share something beautiful because we often jump on about 10 minutes before these Zooms, and there's kind of like behind the scenes chats going, and Pauline has shared a couple of pearlers with us these last couple of episodes before we've begun. But something that really strikes me is this. Consistently, what I'm hearing from so many people in this program is since they've started taking the supplements, the whole MetaPower bundle, the LLV, the MetaPower system, together consistently every day, right? Whether you're starting at a half dose of LLV or full dose, doesn't matter. I'm getting the same results from both lots of people. They are saying their life is changing astronomically. Not even just this much. It's like huge, the changes. And this delights me no end at all. So if it's not the LLV you're taking and it's the VMG Plus, right, the greens and the new multis and everything that doTERRA has done, plus the new omegas, then that's fine. It's the same thing. I'm hearing the same thing over and over, and it is blessing so many of you because doTERRA creates these supplements, these systems with science to back everything. They have science, they have know-how. They never just create something just because the trend is out. Like, look how long it took for a collagen to come out. They took years, to allow this to be the best version it could be, and an award-winning product. It's a world renowned now. It's an award-winning product. There's nothing else like it on the market, the MetaPower Advantage and that whole metabolic system. So when you work with your metabolism, so through exercise, like what we did with Anna Foley, just a couple of weeks ago, Good Friday actually, and today with Leonie, just be walking as we're talking about this. But as you experience the impact of your metabolism returning to its natural state, you will notice things happening like better sleep, less cravings, less leaning in to emotional eating maybe. There's no shame in it. I want to kind of take the big elephant out of the room. There's no shame in having a treat that you really love once in a while. What you could do, though, instead of buying the chocolate, is make chocolate using cacao and real ingredients and whole sweeteners, right? Maybe instead of buying the crisps, and again, if you want to, you can, but maybe instead of do them in the oven and get some good old taties, from your backyard or a local farmer or, somewhere that's been spray-free and still has the earth on it, right? You want to give them a scrub and roast them up with their skins. Lots of salt, good fats on it, right? So still treat yourself. But now you understand that the treats that are sold to us are deadly. They are silent killers. We can convert those treats to work with us and for us by using real ingredients. Right? So Leonie, honey, can you just mute yourself, gorgeous? You're off mute. So I want to say a couple of things, Leonie Featherstone. Sorry, I didn't want you to unmute. Before you start, I want to set you up for success. So in your water bottle, when you start embracing exercise, I want you to start putting a few drops of MetaPower or peppermint. If you can't have the MetaPower, have just some peppermint or supermint or spearmint or wild orange or lemon or grapefruit, something that's going to kick fire your metabolism and also your brain and help send those messages, the signals to your brain that you want to do this. Because often it's the last thing you want to do if you haven't done it for a long time. The other thing is MetaPower Recharge, whether it's this one or I love the pink one as well, the strawberry, in your bottle, a whole sachet in your bottle, and be drinking and hydrating. This hydrates at a cellular level. Those of you in Australia and New Zealand, this will be coming out around mid-year. But Europe and UK and US and Canada has them already. Now, Aches and pains. Support yourself by putting this on first, my loves. Get it on your knees. Get it on your feet before you whack your socks and shoes on. Get it in your joints, right? Not in your bum crack, just on your joints. If you need a bit of extra zhuzh for respiration, you can definitely put this on your chest and down the bridge of your nose. If it's too strong, use a bit of past tense for that, or easier, or peppermint. Use motivate, use passion on you. Get oils out that support you. If you feel really anxious about exercising, get out the neroli. Get out the neroli touch and get it all over you and go your own pace. And the last one I have here is Citrus Bloom, because she smells so dang good. And I like the two of those on. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you on to Leonie. But I just wanted to say the supplements are changing lives. Get onto them. Make sure they are delivering to your door every month without fail, so that you keep doing it. Just get onto the Loyalty Rewards program. Have it just ship and send without you having to think about it. If you want to add other oils and things, go for it. But just have the Meta Power Bundle shipped to you every single month. Love yourself enough to do this and completely change your lives. Leonie Featherstone, you have the microphone. I'm going to turn off my camera and I'm going to while I'm here, and I'm going to just like wig out and have fun here, and I'll watch the chat for you.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. It's lovely to be here. I just want to put a little disclaimer in there that I don't normally go walking in one of my good shirts. I've got to go to a barbecue after this, but I also have I'll show you my runners, shall I? Can you see my runners? They're my steel cap boots because it's snake season. So I can't actually walk on the farm in joggers because, it's pretty dangerous. And I was a little bit concerned today because I'm actually trying to open a gate and close it at the moment, because multitasking is sometimes a good trait of mine, but I just have to watch for snakes at the same time. But I'll just introduce you to some friends of mine here. They've come in to get a drink. I don't know if you can see that. But what I do want to say just before I keep walking is, on this walk today, I guess it depends where you are, but when we're looking at lowering our cortisol through movement, and Vanessa's prefaced this beautifully with all of our products, I want to ask you to come to your senses. And I'm not being rude with that. I want you to actually feel into all of your senses. And thank you. Vanessa, hello. Have I got a brain here today? Vanessa's just spoken about Citrus Bloom. Well, I just want to tell you, I've got Crapola alternifolia all around me right now because I'm in the water square, and when they come in to have a drink, they often let something else go as well. But the other thing I want to say to you, can you see that yellow hut in the background? Can you see that? Can you see a yellow hut, Vanessa? Like a little... Okay, so what I love about when I come down to the farm and I'm tapping into my senses, I'm actually relating a lot of it to my life. And so the cattle, they eat grass, right? But just like us, sometimes they don't always get all of their food nutrients through their food. And so Farmer Green has to put out their version of Lifelong Vitality for them. So today we've just put that, they're like a mineral supplement. So, farmers have been doing that for 1 million years to look after their cattle. And I think we've been a bit slow to catch on. So they're actually teaching me that, remember to have your supplements, Leonie, because the difference it makes to them, to their coat, to their growth, to their lactation, to their fertility is just incredible. But anyway, what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you have put on your favourite oil, or the one I chose today was Native Bush. It's rather a favourite of mine. Excuse me, ladies, I'm just going to walk through here. Is because when I smell Native Bush, it just takes me back to my childhood of going down to the river. It only ran once a year if we were lucky, but I could smell the eucalypts, and it just anchored me to that beautiful memory. And so what Native Bush can do for you, if you aren't in an area where you can actually get out, amongst the animals and in the country, and, be blessed with the amazing views that I have, and the actual being able to come down into nature, you can actually just get a drop of Native Bush on your hand, take a moment to just focus and deeply inhale, and just imagine that you were there under that calming embrace of the trees and feel that peaceful tranquility just, sorry, girls, flowing through you and allow it to help calm your nervous system. So as we walk today, whether you're out walking or on the bike, so here's two scenarios. If you're out walking, what I'd love you to do is to actually start thinking and being aware of what am I actually inhaling? What am I smelling? What am I feeling? So you might be hanging on to some weights. You might be hanging on to the edge of the walking machine like I do. You might be out in nature. And if you are, just stop for a moment and pick some grass or touch the bark of a tree. Feel into how it makes you feel in your heart. What smells? Like, start getting really particular about what smells. Is it the grass? Is it that herbaceous smell? Or is it more like the tree bark that you can smell? Because when we start to do this, we start to almost become part of nature. And then, of course, what can you see? So right now I feel so incredibly blessed because we do live in a picturesque area of the valley, but it's not just the trees and the grass. I absolutely love the cattle and their groundedness, just like the trees in beautiful native bush can ground us. Because I think sometimes when people are walking, they're not actually thinking about what is going on. They might have a podcast, and sometimes I do that on a walking machine because it's as boring as, what I prefer to walk in nature. But sometimes just to take those moments to actually feel the sensations of walking, and then even to sort of project and imagine what that's doing to your body. It's almost like you're reinforcing the good effect and starting to make yourself feel even better about what you're actually creating. So that was just a thought that I thought you might like to sort of immerse yourself in on this walk, and then maybe we'll open it up at the end and you can share some of those feelings and experiences. Vanessa, I'm watching you in that beautiful outfit, and it's like a butterfly is dancing in front of me. It's quite fitting, really, because we do actually have the beautiful blue Ulysses butterfly up here.
You're so cute. I had to take off all my walking gear because I was too hot inside with it. I had my farm boots on because snake season here as well, and t-shirt and leggings. So I was like, get it off me.
You had me a bit worried there when you said you had to take it all off, and I was going to say, not right now. Oh my God. But I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are, but it has been an absolute rip snorter of a day today. And I was saying to Pauline earlier, when you can actually get out in nature, even if it is just your front lawn, and just shut everything down and just sit and feel. I did that this morning on our front step. And so this is the benefit of getting out in nature, even if you're just sitting there. But today we're doubling it up. We're immersing ourselves and we're moving. But you start to notice things. So if you're out walking at the moment, let's do a little goal to find 3 things that you wouldn't normally see, and we can share them at the end. So I know when I'm walking along here, sometimes I'll see a rare little bird that I don't know, and they're usually really beautiful, and they just bring me that spark of joy. So finding things that bring joy, that changes your whole body chemistry as well. And something else I just wanted to touch on is community. I've had the most beautiful experience over the last couple of days attending Anzac ceremonies and dinners. And it was really interesting that listening to some of these Air Force and Army guys, they were all talking about the importance of community and service and how it holds them together as a defence group, and friendships and camaraderie that build resilience. And I was just so immersed in gratitude for you, Vanessa, for starting this group, because it really does just that. It has brought together strangers in many cases, people who feel united by a common bond, people who feel safe to share. They're very appreciative of the wealth of knowledge, and they're making those sometimes just incremental to begin with. And then, as you touched on, massive changes are happening. And that started because you created this community. And so I think we all have that opportunity to do that. We all have that opportunity to, maybe next time you go for a walk, grab somebody, ask your neighbour if they want to go for a walk, even if it's just down to the corner and back, because you never know, they might be feeling really lonely and you might make a huge difference in their life. And when you make a huge difference in their life, guess what? You're going to feel really good yourself. And coming back to native bush, and when Vanessa has finished her flying around in her butterfly goddess outfit, she'll probably back me up. But if you look at the beautiful oils that are in native bush, and one of them is cedarwood. And we often talk about cedarwood as the oil of community. And if anyone has a passion for trees, which I do, many years ago, I read a book called The Hidden Life of Trees. And Vanessa, I don't know if you were there, but I did a presentation on why we should all be more like a tree. But trees create such a sense of community. They reach out their roots underneath the ground and they help feed other trees that aren't even their same species. So what does that teach us? And so I think that when you actually look at the emotional aspects in native bush, and that might be a little bit of homework for you if you would like, go and have a look at it, because some of those oils like thyme that are helping us to purge out any toxic thoughts or things that aren't serving us, help us to release the burden so that we can connect back to ourselves, to our beautiful earth, and be grounded. And I just stopped for a moment because we have this gorgeous little bit of a creek here. And it's just, I'm listening. I don't know if you can hear the sound of water, but this is where you bring in when you're walking. Look for those sounds. Is it a little cricket? Is it a bird? Is it water? And bring those sounds into your everyday life. Even if you live in a concrete jungle, you can create those sounds and bring them in there to your life, even if it's just to give you that one little minute of a and no, thank you, Vanessa. So look at this. How gorgeous is this? Can you hear the water? Did you hear the water, Vanessa?
Unfortunately, Zoom is cutting out the other sounds. We can hear you clearly, but we can see it so beautifully.
Oh, okay. Yes. 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 So just the other thing is too, when you're walking on the walking machine, there'd be nothing wrong with you playing your favorite calming music or having something to look at in front of you. Like I'm blessed that we can look out of our garage onto a beautiful view. But we can create the environment. Sometimes it's really easy to make excuses and go, oh, I haven't got that, or I can't do that. But hey, we're cleverer than that. And we can create these amazing, amazing scenarios and immerse ourselves in them. Because our imagination is incredible when we allow it to. And we've got a beautiful sunset happening. Maybe if everyone's walking, they can't write things in the chat, can they? So I was chatting.
But they can come off mute and share if you want them to.
Okay, fabulous. Yeah. Fabulous, thank you. So if you want to come off mute, if you have had a chance and you're out walking, maybe just share with us what you are seeing with new eyes, or what you are hearing, what you are feeling. Maybe you're tasting something in the air, what you're smelling, and how is it making you feel? Come on, who's going to be brave?
I am. Never
Hi,
too
Leonie.
hesitant. Hi, Leonie. That sounds like little Soreka. I'm walking for the first time for ages, and I forgot how much I enjoy it, even though I'm around my neighbourhood, so there's road noises. I love this time of day because I can feel the earth calming down, and I kind of like this time better than the mornings because it's like the birds start to twitter their last little tweets for the day, and the whole earth feels like it's just breathing a sigh of another day done. Now I can rest.
Beautiful. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's so incredibly calming, and it just hits me in my heart, sort of thing.
Mm,
So I always feel soothed when I walk at this time of day.
beautiful. Thank you, Leonie. That was gorgeous. And that whole, you know, I was just thinking, Vanessa just popped in the chat. It's a beautiful time to, I think it was decompress and rest or something like that. And I was thinking, you know, like we could always bring in affirmations too. Like, you know, the army do the la 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 la. You know, they do those things. But we could be saying, you know, I release, I reset, I renew. You know, we could be creating our own affirmations. I mean, we've already snorted our favorite oil, so why not aromatically anchor as we walk? We have you know how I said we have a great imagination is what we have to create any scenario. I love the cattle and their curiosity. These guys teach me so much. They're always interested in looking at what's going on here. Hello. Say hello to everybody. Can you see my beautiful friends?
Leonie, do they wear thongs?
Hang on, I'll ask them. Do you guys wear thongs? What? No, they said because they don't because they lack toes. Thank you, Anna. So Anna, what are you seeing and smelling and tasting and touching?
I love that. Thank you for your laughter session earlier this week. My breath was taken away when I started this walk because I'm just walking around the neighbourhood where my son's playing basketball. Normally I sit in the car and do online work, but today I had this beautiful community opportunity to walk, and as soon as I stepped out, there was a beautiful rainbow. So I would have missed that otherwise.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's all. And how did that rainbow make you feel?
Oh, elated, joyful. Yeah, so
Yeah.
happy to give myself this time. And isn't that like a reward to see something beautiful like that? Yeah.
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 Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Anna. And thank you for always being there to back me up. And I know you back a lot of other people up, Anna. We were talking about community before, and you know, you really epitomise that. So thank you so much. Bye, girls and boys. Say wave goodbye. Oh no, they don't have toes. That's right. Who else has got something to share? What are you seeing and how are you feeling and what are you seeing? What are you smelling?
So what I'll do while you're all sharing, talking, let me see if I can get my breath. I was going to try and turn this around. I can't on my iPad, but before I lose reception, I'll show you what I'm looking out at behind me. Can you see this?
Beautiful. Yes.
I lose internet if I go any further than this. Native fauna. So the snakes come and drink from the water feature here, and they have homes in rocks, and you know, and people think I'm crazy for loving snakes. Now, it's just been something I've always loved. And we have lots of bees here and stuff as well. But I find with things like snakes, they pretty much mind their own business unless they're startled. But we've got these beautiful black skinks, you know, big lizards that come here, and it's just beautiful. So anyway, so when I realized the weather was changing, I went for a walk all around, checked on our manuka trees. We've got manuka trees here.
Wow.
And we've got 4 different species just to see which one would grow the best. So I went and said hello to them and said hi to our big fig trees, which were absolutely laden with figs. And now that season's gone and they're losing their leaves. And then the last thing I had a good sniff of was our basil. We still had this last crop of basil. So I harvested a stack of basil, to go with our homegrown garlic and some cavolo which is the black Tuscan kale, and I'll be making a kale basil pesto dip after this with nuts and
Oh,
seeds.
wow.
So that's what's around me as I'm moving and shaking, because I can't get out there because we've got no internet. But I want you all to just really take in what Leonie's saying, because these walk and talks are designed so that you can reconnect with movement in some way, right? And connecting together can take out the dauntingness of getting back into exercise, right? Like Leonie said, the other Leonie Hamilton said, she hasn't done this for ages and she's loving it. She's being reminded. So even if this gets you walking once or twice a week to start with before it gets to the daily amount, then that's job done, right? Reach out to your community and see if there are walking groups. There are often walking groups and, little gatherings and 50 plus exercise groups and, whatever your age group is. I'm showing mine now. So, so you can get together with community and do this and have fun with it. So please remember, your girls look gorgeous in the background, Leonie.
Thank you. Thank you. I think something just popped into my head when you were talking about that, Vanessa, and that must be so joyful to be able to grow your own produce and then make the food, and that extra layer of joy that you would have. And I was also thinking, one of the benefits for me as I watch nature, whether I'm just out looking or working out here in the paddock, is I watch nature and it teaches me lessons, because nature speaks. It's up to us to listen. So, it's like even snakes, when you were talking about them. I mean, I grew up in the outback, 4 hours from anywhere, an hour and a half if the flying doctor could get to us, and then another hour and a half probably to a hospital. So you didn't survive if you got bitten by a black snake or a brown snake. But what I do love is the message that snakes give us, and particularly the fact that in order for them to change, they have to rub up against something sharp, because they have to change their skin and to shed their skin. And so as much as sometimes you might not like a possum or you might not like a frog, maybe just look at what the energy or the message is that frog or that animal, flora is teaching you. And even for the benefit of the seasons, life is like the seasons. We have times to sow, we have times to reap, we have times when we lose, we have times of loss and grief, like the trees lose their leaves, but the trees bounce back. And so can we, when we adopt that resilient nature and believe in ourselves enough to know that we have that strength and ability. And there's just so much that we can gain from getting outside and learning from nature. And I even watch, sometimes I'm out here with the cattle and I'll watch them, and they'll be on a fence line, and they'll be like trying to stick their head through the grass, through the barbed wire to get the grass on the other side, and they can't. Maybe the lesson is that the grass is not always greener on the other side. I don't know. But one thing I do notice, sometimes I'll come down in the buggy and I'll just turn it off and just listen. And I got to say, these girls might look good, but they've got really bad manners. They chew with their mouth open and they make a lot of noise, but that's okay. We'll forgive them. But what I have noticed is when they go up to a bush or something and they'll start to nibble, if they don't like it, they just move on. There's no song and dance. There's no drama queening. It just, we'll find another way. And so for me, it's like, oh yeah, I can do that too. Something might tick me off. It might rub me up the wrong way, but do I want to waste energy bitching and moaning about it, or will I find another way? Will I find a solution? And so, yeah, I think that when we can tap into our beautiful animal friends and our trees and our plants, it's like a university. It's like there's so much learning there for us if we are open to taking it on board. Has anyone got an example of something they've learnt from nature? Are we all out of breath because we're walking?
Come off mute, and don't worry if you run out of breath. I was a bit too when I was sharing, but think about how nature blesses you through the essential oils. Maybe someone wants to share how their favorite blend or essential oil blesses them.
One thing that I've always noticed in my many, many travels to different places is the tenacity and the resilience and the drive to live of plants, and you'll find the cutest little plant growing out of a stone wall somewhere, and you think
Mm.
there's nothing to grow on, there's no soil there,
Yeah.
and yet you're surviving. And I think it goes to show that if we have that will, we can do it.
Yes, Leonie, and you are the epitome of that, my friend, because you have been through your battles and you have got through them and continue to smile and continue to serve other people. So thank you so much.
And, you know,
I guess-
when you read about how trees grow, it takes years in a forest for trees to come through. They're under a canopy of ancient ones, right? So they need to wait. They need to wait till one of these ancient ones falls. They bide their time for decades and decades before it's their turn, right? Down here we're the only place in the world that has the mighty tingle trees. So we have over 700 species of eucalyptus trees in Australia. And down here in Walpole, so we're kind of Denmark area, about 40 minutes from where we are, there's a place called Walpole, and we have a place there called the Valley of the Giants. Now, when the Great Fires went through that area, what was so fascinating to them was these huge ancient tingle trees still survived. So you'll see them, they've got like cavernous holes in them, in their trunks, but they still survive and they continue to survive. So their roots actually don't go very deep. They're quite shallow, right? They stay quite close to the surface. So this was something humans had to learn about the tingles, because down this way there were some that were huge, and people there was one that was big enough that you used to be able to drive through it, and they'd take photos and take their cars. And no one knew that over the many years of doing this, they were killing this beautiful ancient king or queen. and that was a sacrifice from that tree that taught everyone more about these mighty tingles. So where do you feel that your roots are shallow and quite tender, right? Quite vulnerable? Where do your roots go really deep, where you feel anchored and sure, right? How does your canopy look and feel? How's the trunk? How's your heartbeat? How's the blood of your blood? Like the resin of you, how is that? Yeah. As you work with these essential oils, the blends, the supplements that we're working on, that MetaPower bundle, you'll learn that all of it's working with your body chemistry, the exquisite science of you, to bring you back to your natural state as your soul and creator intended for you to be, right? So taking these walks, adapting, like Leonie said, okay, I can't get internet out there, so I'm just moving and doing it here, right? Adapting, this is what's going to help create greater ease and grace in your lives. Yeah? It's not easy, but it's simple.
That's beautiful, Vanessa. You know, something else that's sort of fortified me as well is that there are many plants that rely on fire to actually burst the seed open so they can actually proliferate. And so sometimes it's that old thing, we have to go through a bit of a scorching, as much as we may not like it, but it actually can, it's like the phoenix, we can rise again and be purified and come out even better and blossom and grow in such a way that we wouldn't have imagined. So thank you for bringing that up. I love that. I love that analogy that you gave with the canopy and the roots and everything. That's a great takeaway for me. Thank you. How are we going for time?
We're good, Leonie. If you want to wind it up, I know you've got an event tonight. We've had a good half-hour walk.
The mozzies are just starting to come out and bite me, and I didn't think to put my Terra armor on. Oh dear.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can definitely wind it up, and people can keep walking if they want. But thank you so much for being here, Leonie, for your wisdom, for your joy, and your perspective. I love how you invite us to look through a different lens, you know, and not just look with these eyes, but with the eyes of our heart, and listen with the ears of our heart, and opening our senses so that we can feel and smell and taste the earth around us as we walk upon her. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanessa. And I'll just turn around here. My dear darling Farmer Green has driven up to the gate in the buggy, waiting to in the chariot to whisk me away to the car to save me walking the last bit down to the farmhouse.
Beautiful. Well, you can switch out, gorgeous, and I'll hang on with the girls. And if anyone's got any questions, I'm here to answer it for them.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for hanging out with us. It's been a joy, and I loved all of your perspectives and sharing as well. So have a beautiful evening, and thank you again, Vanessa, for this group. It's amazing.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Love you. Bye, Leonie.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. All right, my darlings. So just be really aware when you finish, you finish exercising, that you just, even if you just kind of shake your body and disperse that acid that's moving through your body. What is it? Is it lactic acid? I can't remember, but just like dispersing it. And remember, if you take a soak tonight with Epsom salts and oils, or after you shower or bath, you get this on you. Yes, it is lactic acid. Good. I thought I was going crazy. Get this on you, the ice blue, or known as deep blue rub, get that on you. And just remember those beautiful stretches that Adele Sevanche did with us all, for those that joined live. And if you haven't seen that one, go back to that, because these walks that Anna Foley did with us, and now Leonie, and Adele's beautiful invitation to move gently, they are the little ways that you can bring movement into your day and back to your body that is expansive rather than contracting. Because painful exercise, especially when you're just starting, can have you contract and make things a heck of a lot worse, and spike cortisol and increase stress, okay? So you want to really look after yourselves while you do this, yeah? So any questions before we turn off the recording, or shares? Do you want to pop a 1 in the chat if you all loved this walk and talk, if you're finding this useful to walk together as a group? Yeah, great. One. Yeah, I saw your finger go up, 1. That's great. Thank you. All right. Okay, I'm going to switch off the recording, and I'll just be here just in case you have anything you want to share that's private. But thank you for being here, and for those watching the recording, I hope you loved this and you bring this into your day.